This right here is my current portfolio, and I'm going to be truthful with you. I did not get this by working a 9-to-5 job. Let's be real. Playing by the rules isn't going to make you rich. If working hard and being honest was the secret to wealth, then teachers, nurses, and construction workers will all be millionaires. But they're not. Meanwhile, the richest people in the world didn't just work harder. They found the loopholes. They bent the rules and manipulated the system to their advantage. So today, I'm giving you the real playbook, the playbook that I use to gain my wealth. Forget that fairy tale about getting rich by working hard. I'm going to show you how to lie, cheat, and steal your way to wealth, all legally. Now, before you freak out, I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm telling you to play the game better than anyone else, because that's exactly what the top 1% does. And you better believe they are laughing while the rest of us is all struggling. And when I say lie, cheat, and steal, I don't mean running some type of scam. I mean bending the rules just like the wealthy people do, to work for you, not against you. One of the biggest barriers to wealth is not owning assets. If you want to get rich, you need real estate. But buying a property typically requires about 20% down. And most people don't have that kind of money just laying around. So what do? You lie legally. Here's a loophole. Instead of buying an investment property, you buy it as your primary residence. This matters because banks give you way better loan terms when you say you're going to live in a property. Instead of putting 20% down, you can put down as little as 3%. You get a lower interest rate because primary houses get better terms than investment properties. And you can also avoid stricter lending requirements that apply to rental properties. Normally, when you buy a primary residence, banks require you to move in within 60 days. But here's where things get really interesting. There are loopholes that allow you to delay your occupancy. So instead of actually moving in, you might claim that you had a sudden job relocation. Maybe you had to take care of a sick family member in another city. Maybe your situation suddenly changed and you have to delay moving in indefinitely. Meanwhile, you're renting out the property, collecting cash flow, and you build an equity without ever living there. This is exactly how real estate investors scale quickly, without needing the hundreds of thousands of dollars of upfront costs. Banks, they're not dumb. They know people do this, but they don't care as long as they're making payments. There are over 5 million homes sold every year in this country. They can't look at each and every one to make sure things are going the way that they said it was going to go. So if you're still sitting on the sidelines thinking real estate is too expensive or out of reach, this is your invitation to start thinking like the wealthy. Debt is a trap for poor people, but the rich, they use it as a weapon. If you think credit cards are just for buying things, you're doing it all wrong. The wealthy cheat the system by using credit cards as free money. This is exactly the playbook that they use. First, they find a high-limit 0% APR credit cards, the ones that offer 12 to 24 months of interest-free. Then, instead of them using it to buy useless things, they use the bank's money to buy income-producing assets. That can mean putting down payment on a rental property, buying undervalued stocks, or even flipping products online. Once the assets start generating income or appreciate in value, they either pay off the card before the interest kicks in or use points to roll it into the next opportunity. It's literally free money, and banks hand this out to people with decent credit. Meanwhile, the average person is paying for Netflix and gas with their credit cards like a true sucker they are, racking up high interest debt. Now, some people might say, isn't that risky? Sure, if you're irresponsible. But if you use it correctly, this is the same way real estate investors, entrepreneurs, and business owners leverage debt to get rich quicker. The wealthy don't pay for their lifestyles. Their businesses do. I'm not even kidding you. The fancy dinners, the luxury cars, the first-class flights, not coming out of their own personal bank accounts. It's all business expenses. Here's how you steal back your own money from the system. Again, legally. First, you set up an LLC or a corporation, even if you don't have a business yet. The moment you have a business, even if it's just a side hustle, you can use your business credit to fund your life. Now, instead of paying for a new car out of your own pockets, you lease it under your business name and you write it off as a business vehicle. Instead of paying for personal vacations, you take business trips to places you were trying to go anyway. Just make sure you do something while there that is relevant to your business, like posting and taking pictures to influence, or record a video or a commercial while you're there. The government actually encourages you to do this by offering hundreds of deductions for business owners. I know you have seen mad people driving G-Wagons. Most of them purchase it because it's a business purchase and because the government allows you to write off 100% of that purchase. So basically, you get a G-Wagon for free. And if you're still paying for everything personally, you're getting played. The rich don't spend their own money. They use their businesses to cover everything possible. You want guaranteed money every month? Then do what landlords don't want you to know about. The hack is called Airbnb rental arbitrage. Instead of buying property, you rent someone else's and list it on Airbnb. Let's say you rent a 2-bedroom apartment for $2,000 a month. Now, instead of living there, you turn around and list it on Airbnb for $150 per night. If you book only 15 nights a month, you already covered your rent, and then everything after that is all profit. Some landlords don't allow subletting, but there are a lot of workarounds. You can negotiate a corporate lease or set up an LLC and tell them that you're using it as corporate housing. The reality is some landlords, like me, don't care as long as you're paying the rent on time and not destroying the property. This is how people make 6 figures a year from Airbnb without ever owning a property. The wealthiest people in the world barely pay taxes. Meanwhile, middle-class workers get absolutely crushed. This is because earned income, like the money you make out of your paycheck, is taxed at the highest rate. But investment income, like stocks or real estate, is taxed way lower, if at all. The rich don't make their money from jobs. They make it from investments, real estate, and businesses. So how do you play this game? You shift as much of your income as possible into investments. You buy rental properties to take advantage of tax deductions. You start a business and use every tax loophole available. The IRS rewards people who own businesses and assets. If you're still out here grinding for a paycheck, you're getting robbed. The system was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you in check. The wealthiest people in the world didn't get there by following the rules. They exploited the loopholes, hacked the system, and did whatever it took to get ahead. And now, you know exactly how to do it. So the real question is, are you going to keep playing by the rules and stay broke? Or are you going to start using the system to your advantage? I want you to drop a comment below. Which one of these hacks surprised you the most? And which one you think you're going to try? And if you want more financial gain, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, peace.